Hello friends, it's Carly Youngworth back today, and I am working with some beautiful Wild Whisper Designs papers and Emerald Creek Craft Supplies embossing powders to create a Canada page in my Traveler's Notebook. So this Traveler's Journal is our summer last year, 2018, and I have a couple pages that I had already done and decorated, and then this page here I had done for Emerald Creek for one of their design team projects, and today I am doing a little layout here with a couple pictures of my daughters from last Canada Day, which is July 1st in Canada. So we've got some fun stamps with loonies and maple leaves from Emerald Creek. We've got some products from Wild Whisper. This is an older collection, which is one of my favorites, Strong and Free from Wild Whisper. And I start off by creating a tag design. Now, what I'm doing is taking some embossing ink, and I am just adding some embossing powder in white to the background, and this is going to create a bit of a resist for the tag. I've got a Wagner Studio heat gun here, and this is by far the best heat gun I have ever used. It directs the heat to a point and the powders don't blow around. It melts them quickly, and I would never have believed it, but it is far superior to any of the other heat guns that I've used. So I'm adding another stamp here at the top, simply by adding the embossing ink, which is a sticky ink, and then adding more of the embossing powder. The white is a Glacier white embossing powder from Emerald Creek. It's a fine powder, and so you get a very detailed stamped image, and just adding that on as well. I actually did this video originally as a live video over in the Emerald Creek Facebook page, and it's still over there, but I thought I would speed it up and cut some of the extras out and just post it here on YouTube so that anybody who wanted to kind of see the detail parts of the project could see that. Now this red and white powder is O Canada from Emerald Creek. It's a really great red powder, and it has flecks of white, very beautiful, and that's going to emboss some little maple leaves here from the Strong and Free Wild Whisper stamp set. And this is just embossed over a manila tag that I had in my stash. You can see how beautiful that red melts, and the white seems to spread a little bit once it's melted. So it just gives really nice crisp detail, and it's going to look really nice in the background. Now I have grabbed some Tim Holtz Distress Stains, and these have been in my stash, and I even debated getting rid of them because I hadn't been using them, and I thought I'll pull them out and play with them, and if I decide I don't like them, then I'll give them away. But I really realized how much I enjoy working with them. I've done some projects where I've covered a wood frame from Michaels and used them to cover the background, and they are great for tags. And I think it's important to pull out those old supplies that we may have loved originally and forgotten about, and just really play with them and see if we're still going to use them. And I realized I need to have these out more and not put away, because I really love the way they work with my other products. So this was really fun to do. I used the dark brown on the edges to give a bit of a darker part around the edge and spritzed a little water there just to move things around. And the background is the Tim Holtz glass media mat, which is lovely. So I had a finished tag there that I had played with, and I'm just recreating this for this page. This is a metal brad from Emerald Creek. They have some beautiful charms and brads in their shop, and I decided that I wanted to cover the top of this. And by using embossing powder, this is a really great way to extend your metal and customize it to match your products. So all I did was coat the top of it with some embossing ink, dip it in the powder, and I'm just holding it with some scissors, or you could use tweezers so you don't burn yourself, and just heat that up until it melts. Now I'm making some customized enamel dots by taking a measuring spoon that's made of metal and scooping out some of the embossing powder and melting it by heating it underneath with the heat gun. So this takes a few minutes longer because you do have a bunch of the powder, but as soon as it's melted, you can carefully tip the spoon and start making some fun little dots and shapes on your craft mat. So this is a non-stick mat that I'm gently tapping out some dots on, and it is a really great way to add some embellishments as well. This Looney stamp from Emerald Creek is really fun, and I'm stamping on some Tim Holtz Metallic Confections craft cardstock. The back is craft and the front is a metallic color, and it comes in a pad. I really love this paper. So just by stamping with embossing ink and then embossing with, we've got gold doubloon for the Looney, really creates a lovely handmade embellishment. And I used a little powder bag for the second stamp that I embossed, and just to make sure any of the stray powder didn't stick, and it actually worked really well. So you can see that there's a few stray dots on the first Looney, but that's okay. And then we've got a second stamp here from Emerald Creek that is a little maple leaf, and this works really well on the red cardstock. So I'm embossing that with an aroma powder, which is spiced candy from Emerald Creek, and it has a really lovely cinnamon scent when you emboss it and even after it's embossed. They have some fun aroma powders in that line that range from eggnog and coffee and maple, and they're really, really neat. The red is one of my favorites, and it's a really beautiful red color as well. So that just gave us some handmade embellishments, and then I just took an archival ink pad and went around the edge to add a little bit of detail. Now we're just adding a little tie through the top of that tag and our enamel brad that we added the embossing powder to, and then just gluing the tag down to the front page of this traveler's journal. We've got a little journaling card in the background there before I put the tag down. And then I added some of the beautiful papers from Wild Whisper. These are from the Strong and Free line, which again is an older line, and you may be able to find it in different shops. Might still have it, but I don't believe it's still being sold in the Wild Whisper shop, but there definitely is beautiful other papers that are current being sold in the shop, and I will link the website for Wild Whisper below. The Wild Whisper papers are absolutely beautiful. They have a beautiful thickness and weight to them, and they have a lovely color palette a lot of the collections you can mix and match them because they have a similar palette. So just going ahead and laying on the embellishments, the loonies, the maple leaves. I love that as well. There's always things you can cut out of the Wild Whisper papers to use as embellishments. So whether it's words or images, you're always going to find things that you can add as well. So this made a fun Canada Day page. This is a neat little way in a traveler's notebook to just document whether it's your summer or another event. And you can see there that I previously made some gold enamel dots as well. So I'm just going ahead and adding those onto the background here, and I'm using some Ranger matte medium, and then I think I had grabbed maybe another gloss medium, but any of those little kind of matte mediums work wonderful for just gluing things down. I just wrote a little note there, and that's my page all finished, all embellished, and I'm so happy with that. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some fun things from Wild Whisper and Emerald Creek, and I will link a blog post where you can see some close-ups. I hope you have an awesome day, and I would love for you to like and subscribe. Thanks so much.